Good morning, everybody. It's 8:45 on Monday morning, May 24. It's currently a Victoria Day holiday in Canada, so the Canadian stock market's closed, along with most people taking a 3-day holiday. Anyways, I just want to run over the charts of gold and the S&P. I found a microphone in a drawer here. Unfortunately, the stores are closed, so I'm going to try and see if I can get a microphone today. If not, I'll have to pick one up tomorrow morning. But back to the videos, which is nice. It's much easier to explain stuff in a video than trying to type it up. So anyways, let's jump into the charts here. We've got the gold overlay chart. Now yesterday, or the previous day, we saw gold. It was trying to bottom here, and you can see this choppy action. Once we see this choppy action, we know there's usually a possible for a trend reversal. So the price was coming down, and we looked to scale in here on Friday to buy into gold, and we started to get this choppy action indicating that the sellers are getting weak and there's buyers starting to push it back up. So today, if we're lucky, we're going to see prices at least stay somewhere along this level, if not continue, like start to move up and rally higher. So we should have a position. If you don't have a position, I would take a position today. You want to, I think, be in here because there's good potential for the markets to, for gold and the S&P to move up substantially. So I do think taking a position here if you're not in is good. Let's just jump to the daily chart so we can see a little zoom out here. In short, we are trading through a pretty key support level here. We touched down. We've got this previous high. We've got this little cluster here in this correction, and we've tested back down to this level. We saw lots of selling, and after you see a big selling wave similar to these here, you usually see some type of bounce. So I'm at least figuring a bounce up to the 1200. If the market does continue to do what I think it should do, we should see gold continue these trends up, and we should see it test the 1250 area, if not go quite a bit higher in the long run. But right now, gold is just trying to reverse. Usually it follows the stock market for key reversal points like this. So when the S&P bottomed on Thursday or Friday, everything was about stocks on those days. It was complete panic selling. Everybody was just focusing on their equity positions. So gold really didn't do much at all. Neither did silver. It traded sideways on relatively light volume. So I think today we're going to start to see people start moving their money into the safe havens, gold and silver, and that's kind of what we're looking for. So I think gold is going to start to play catch up here and move higher. Now if we take a look at here's the intraday chart, 60-minute chart of gold, you can see it's pretty straightforward. We've got this more or less this entire kind of cluster here, and now we're trading back down at that level, and we're just waiting for a breakout. We've got some trend lines here that could be broken, and once we break above this high here, I think we're going to see gold start to rocket much higher. So that's what we're hoping for today. Once it starts an uptrend, I think it's going to start a pretty big wave up, but we'll just play that by ear. So that's what I'm seeing there. If we zoom in on the hourly chart, you can just see that gold's been in a downtrend, and now it's starting to curve up. So this is a pretty major level. We kept hitting our head on this 1195 level previously. We pretty much broke this level here of resistance, and now it's on top of it, and it's just starting to bounce now. Next level here is the 1195, which it hit its head several times before and then broke down. So once we break this level, I think we're going to see a nice pop, and we'll most likely run to the 1215 area. So that's what I see for gold, and the momentum is shifting, and we've broken one level of resistance right here, and the next one's 1195. So that's what I see for gold. As for the SP 500, we can see we had major selling. It's kind of tough to see these gray lines. Of course, these gray little spikes here, these are all panic selling. It's extreme selling volume on the NYSE. So more or less when we see spikes this large on a closing basis, The next day we want to scale into the position, and we'll usually see one final little washout as people panic out, and we'll scale in at that point, and then we'll usually see a market reversal. Similar thing happened back in January. You get this huge panic selling spike. The next day you get some follow through as everybody finishes getting shaken and washed out of their position, and when we get in, and we should get a nice rally up here. What we do want to see are these blue lines. When they spike up, it means there's very high levels of buying. So we're currently in a downtrend, but I think we're shifting to an uptrend. So we want to see these blue spikes, and it just means there's massive amounts of people buying. And when you get these big spikes, it just is confirmation that there's people flooding in, buying back up shares. So now that we've got this panic selling, we're going to hopefully see some follow through with the buying now, and we'll see blue spikes, and it'll just start sending us higher. So that's what I'm looking for there. If we zoom out a bit, we do have 2 cycles. We have 2 cycles bottom here. We have 2 cycles in sync here, about to start to bottom, which pretty much coincides with what happened last time, and I think that's right what we're seeing now. So I have a feeling we could see gold, or sorry, the S&P at least run into this resistance level, which is about the 1130 area, 1140, depending where it cuts through. But that's what I'm seeing there. If we pull up the intraday chart, more or less we saw this panic selling day right down here, and I mentioned in the previous a couple days ago, I said, well, if we see this follow through selling, we need pure panic, and the way to do it is to break this low, and we happen to break that low on Thursday, or Friday morning actually. Just complete fear. It more or less, when you get this great big like sharp selling here, that's when you get massive selling, and it's just panic. It's just people stops getting triggered, and everybody just calling their broker saying, get me out, get me out. We saw that same thing on the Thursday. We had the bit of the follow through on the Friday, which is similar to what happened here. So I'm looking for at least a rally up to the 1150 area, and we'll play it by ear for that. So we just have to let it play out. Right now we're seeing the S&P. It's going to open a little lower this morning. It closed right here on Friday. Currently it's trading a little bit lower, which is expected. We had a pretty strong surge on Friday, and it's a bottoming process, so it could go sideways for a few days. It did pull back to a key support level right through this noise here, so it did a healthy pullback. It did it through the night on light volume. We're starting to see rising volume now as it's pushing up off this support level, and so that's all good. We might see a nice push up today into this kind of level, the 1110 area, which will definitely put us deep into the money. Right now we've set our stops at the low, Friday's low, to protect ourselves in case there is another landslide, and this is just the beginning of a crazy sell-off. So you can make sure you have your stop in place. But other than that, we're just going to ride it out, and we'll adjust our stops as we go. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.